So this is what happens when novices do it. It falls the opposite way. What's up, everybody? So 2021 was a roller coaster ride, if I don't say so myself. I mean, it was a year that we had a lot of ups and downs and things we didn't even expect. But it was also a year that I decided to get my real estate licensed as a benefit for those that watch me here on YouTube, for me to help you find a house or sell your house or relocate here to good old Pensacola, Florida and the region around it. See, I wanted to make this video to help anybody out there that is either trying to start a new career or try something else or add that extra little something to their income source to help feed their family or to help out others, or if you clearly just have a passion with real estate, is being a real estate agent your calling? And if it is, I think you should totally do it. You know, as a travel vlogger and a person that does a lot of videos about their hometown and all the great things that go on with it, I felt like nobody could really help somebody live the beach life, the life that is reflected here in this YouTube channel, than myself. So I decided to get a real estate license, and I decided to throw my hat in the ring as a real estate agent. Because for years I had been getting emails and messages from people all around the world that was relocating here to the Gulf Coast, and I didn't know how to help them. I would most of the time refer them to my friends or somebody I knew of, and I felt like they were given a disservice because nobody really knew the area and what they were looking for like I did. A lot of times the people wouldn't call them back or just wouldn't give them the service they were looking for, and I decided to change that. See, as a real estate investor first, and then becoming a real estate agent or a realtor, however you want to pronounce it, I had a huge knowledge base of real estate, but you know, investing and selling are really two different things, and I learned that, and that's what I'm going to talk about in this video. So I'm in a 1925 house. Look at these wood floors. Actually, those are shadows. That's not stains. But the first thing you got to look at right here, these floors, there's a soft spot right here. Can't fix that. I know a lot of people have been watching Selling Sunset, and I wanted to kind of narrow down some of the discrepancies in the real versus not real. So in this video, I'm going to talk about why I got the real estate license, some of the things I had to overcome and I didn't think that would happen, how I approached marketing as a real estate agent, and I want to talk about some of my successes and failures, things that were big roadblocks, and then I'm going to talk about a team versus not a team. I didn't get on a team, and I'll tell you why. And lastly, I'm going to talk about how much I made over the course of my first year in real estate, like actual numbers, and then try to break that down to how some of y'all can understand how real estate agents get paid, commission versus expenses and taxes and things like that. So in this video, we're going to talk about that. All right, day in the life of a real estate agent. Got a brand new listing, okay, 3.2, 1480 square feet. It's got an office, carport, it's got it all, y'all. I wanted to make this video for those of you out there that may be looking to get into real estate. You've seen some of the shows and you think it's cool and you want to become a real estate agent. Maybe it's a beneficial thing for you, maybe it's not. And since this channel's always been about entrepreneurial ideas and my journey through them, maybe this can help you come to a realization on whether you want to try it or not. And on that note, let's jump right into the video. So when I was first approached about getting a real estate license, I wasn't really sure if I wanted to go that route. I was already a real estate investor and I had 4 or 5 properties under my belt. It's move out day, and look how much trash we got here. Fixing to go in this one and see what the renters did. It's going to be an interesting one. I knew quite a bit about real estate, but I was focused primarily here on this YouTube channel, growing this YouTube channel, making videos, and then trying to, you know, put a business model around it. But when I was approached about becoming a real estate agent, and I finally put the two together and I said I was going to do it, a lot of real estate agents laughed at me, and one of my other friends was doing it too, and he was very successful at the time as a YouTuber real estate agent. Most of them laughed at us and they were like, you'll never be taken serious, you'll never do this here with this YouTube thing. They didn't even know what YouTube was. Most of them didn't even know how it worked. And they were very condescending on the idea. And I said, you know what? Hold my beer. I'm going to show you how to do this, and I'm going to show you all how to market. So I went and decided to get the license. It took me like maybe a week to get the license because I had done so many deals in real estate on my own that I passed it in like a week or so. And you know, your next thing you got to do is get on with a brokerage. And so there was a lot of Keller Williams, a lot of big teams, and a lot of people asked me to be on their team. But I knew I would be able to fill my own lead basis with the YouTube channel and my social media presence and just my network in general. You're hidden in the green.
I'm hitting the green.
You're in the very back by the pole. We're doing the real estate door photo shoot. They're gonna put me by the pole. There's Alex. This is V. Kathy Bass from Panama City. Hallie. The swell group. And so really step one was pass the test, get licensed, and then get a brokerage, which I already knew where I was going to go because they had asked me quite a few times to get my license and go over there. So I decided to go to a small boutique firm, not like one of these big real estate agencies. I just wanted somebody that would let me market the way I wanted to, and that would you know, answer my questions if I had them, or help me and coach and mentor if I had them. And that was the cool thing about a small brokerage. See, it takes a while to get set up to be a real estate agent. Like I got my license in like November, but by the time I got my signs and I got on with the board of realtors and I did all the things you had to do, get your super boxes and all these things set up, it was really like January. Because Christmas, everybody takes off. November, you really can't get much done because of Thanksgiving. So I didn't get my wheels spinning until about January. And so step two was to let everybody know that I was a real estate agent, which I did, you know, pretty well by making videos and posts. And a lot of the subscribers started reaching out, and I was able to do, you know, quite a few deals off the bat. So in 2021, I think I did like 20 real estate transactions and a few referrals. And that was an interesting process itself, because as a person that already had one thing they were doing, and real estate was going to be part-time, there was a bell curve to where the more I worked on real estate, the more my YouTube channel and everything, the content slowed down that I was producing on my YouTube channel, and you could only do so many real estate transactions. Like it was, you know, it's a service and you only have so much time. So I had to really pick and choose. But I was able to work around some of the best real estate agents in Pensacola. Our brokerage has some really good agents that do a lot of transactions. And I was able to pick up and learn from them on the fly. And they were great to work around. I'm pulling up to one of my listings here in Navarre. And it's a little townhouse. Airbnb pretty good though. Pretty excited to put a sign in the ground finally. But Pensacola had its issues. We had an entire bridge go out during that time frame. The damage to this bridge is like serious. Look at this. Ooh, that's expensive. How expensive do you think that is, Craig?
Well, the bridge costs $4 million, and delay of time, repairs, 40, 50 million.
That's a lot.
It's a lot.
Literally, where I am in Pensacola, to get to the beach, our bridge was destroyed. You literally couldn't get over there. It was a 10-minute drive. I mean, a few miles. Literally, the bridge is 3 miles, but you couldn't drive it because a barge during Hurricane Sally took it out. So you had to drive almost 2 hours to get all the way around to where our beaches are and a lot of the higher end properties. So I wound up selling right at like $4 million in real estate in actual closed volume, but I had a really high commission rate. I think it was like 3.1% on average, which allowed me to have a little higher commission payout. So one thing I wanted to clarify, when you hear real estate agents talk about volume, or I closed $1 million in real estate, or I'm a $1 million lister, well, $1 million in volume usually will equate somewhere around $25,000 in commission. And then whatever your brokerage split is, and then cost of doing business. So I usually say $1 million, up 25,000. And so when you think of $4 million, 25,000, you grossed 100,000, then your brokerage split, you're somewhere in the 75, 70, whatever your split may be. If you're on a team, you're probably going to pay more of a split because it goes to the team, then to the brokerage. I don't have a team, so it's just me, and it's just my 80-20 split. And if you do any referrals from agent to agent, passing a client along, then, you know, you'll have that 80-20 split on that referral. See, in a brokerage, my split was 80-20, and I didn't do a cap because I didn't know my first year if I was going to sell enough properties for it to really matter. So I didn't want to pay the upfront 70-30 whatever commission split until I got to my cap, because I was already getting 80-20, so it was like tomatoes, tomato. So I think the break-even point was right at 4 million, so I wasn't really worried about that whole deal. See, I had made a bet with Brant Peacher, if you watch his channel, Angle Up with Brant, that I would sell as much or more real estate as he did his first year in real estate as a YouTuber. He did, I think, like 4.5, so I said I was going to do 4.6 or somewhere around there. It was just, I was trying to beat him. And what wound up happening was I found my rhythm somewhere the latter part of the year, and I figured out what price range properties I needed to focus with. I figured out where my leads were coming from and how to build content around it, and that where I was kind of losing money. And for me here, anything under $200,000, I wound up kind of like losing money because I wasn't producing content and I was out there chasing a deal. And, you know, the commission, really after taxes and the breakdown, I mean, because you got an 80-20 split, you've got a cost of doing business, your time, and then you've got taxes, and then you've got, you know, other, you know, you got to pay the par, you got to pay all these different things you got to sign up for, your license, and whether you have insurance or LLCs or bookkeeping and stuff like that. So I wound up, you know, losing money every time I went under 200,000 comparatively on the time, you know, because the breakdown was just not as much. Thought about doing a day in the life of a real estate agent today, because a lot of people have asked me, what's it like, YouTube, real estate, how are you doing this? So I thought I'd take you along. So today I've got to drive about, I don't know, 45 minutes, put a sign in the ground for one of my subscribers that's selling his house in Navarre, and it's about a 45-minute drive, so I got to roll over there. I got to put the sign in the ground, make sure the listing is like good to go, squared away, ready to rock and roll. It's a $505,000 house. It's going to be amazing. Good transaction, great house, nice pool, screened in, whole 9 yards. Beautiful Navarre area, one of the prettiest places on the planet. And then I got to roll back in, take care of some paperwork on the other properties I've listed. This is the third one this month. So here we go. But I really wound up figuring out that referrals was the great thing about being a real estate agent. I could refer it to another person that was closer to the property that needed to be done, and they could do the transaction. I was able to refer some really high quality agents to do these deals, and it wound up working out. It's closing day. It's closing day. So when you look at closed volume versus referrals, referrals are not going to factor into your closed volume. And then some of your out of the area deals don't factor into that 4 million unless you chase them down and do all the numbers. So the end status of that is my goal was 4.6, and I did 4 million in sales volume with a 3.1% commission, and I didn't have as many expenses as most real estate agents because my leads I didn't have to pay for. I was getting them from the content I was already producing. And meanwhile, giving a great service to the people that watch my channel, and they were able to come and meet me and see houses and do business with me. And I really enjoyed that. See, a lot of people think that being a real estate agent is about your portrait photos, the car you drive, and they think that it's about being pompous and being in a fancy suit. No, really, it's about being personable. It's about being yourself, being confident, and about treating people right and being honest, like upfront. And I've always been really upfront and honest with my clients. Like, I'm like, hey, you know, I don't think this is a good deal. I'm not here to get this commission check if I don't like this deal. I think you shouldn't do this deal, or if I really thought they should do the deal. And I thought that was really important because some agents come off really sleazy and kind of condescending, or they're just trying to sell you and push the deal. And I just feel like it comes off and puts a foul taste in people's mouth. So I'm rolling into the Pensacola Investors Guild right now. It's kind of like the hub for all the young and aspiring real estate people. You know, you got to join a club if you want to learn the movers and groovers in our town, because they all hang out with each other in the same spots. They all know each other. Same like 50 dudes do all the real estate deals in Pensacola, and that's where I'm headed right now. But to add on to the 4.5 million that I was trying to hit, I did 4 million plus like 3 or 4 really good referrals. And then I wound up having a $1.3 million listing in December. I wound up having another $110,000 listing in December. And I wound up going under contract on 2 properties on January the 2nd. So if my time horizon would have been squished a little bit, I would have hit my goal. Because, you know, 4.5 to 5 million, depending on the commission commission rate you have. You know, 5 million is usually $100,000 commission income. So I mean, after you pay your breakdown and all that to the brokerage, I did right at, I think they said my numbers was like $85,000 in commission. And then I probably profited somewhere around like 67 to 70. So I wanted to add here, one thing that people don't realize when they compute how much a real estate agent makes is selling their own properties. And that was one thing that I wanted to be able to do. Instead of paying commission to another agent to sell my properties, I was able to save that and sell my own property and use my own network. And I thought that I could sell my own property better than anybody else because I knew the property the most. And so I was able to double side one. So I saved, you know, 2.5% on that deal. And on the other one, I was able to save 2.5% on that one. So I really came out ahead and saved almost $10,000. So you could say I made $85,000 plus the $10,000. It put me at $95,000. And then with my referrals that were not based on my $4 million in inventory, it pushed me a little towards the $100,000 mark. You know, give or take, these are generic numbers because I still got to do the tax breakdown and the IRS, and I don't know. That's a totally different story. But just top line numbers, it was somewhere around that. And it was really cool to be able to add one more source of income to, you know, the YouTube channel and to everything, while allowing a service to my subscribers and helping them find the house and the lifestyle they're trying to get, and have somebody they feel comfortable with, like, and that's honest, and that just is there to, because they like doing real estate. I just like doing real estate. This is, you know, something I kind of enjoy, and I like talking about it, and I like making videos about it, and I'll probably keep doing it forever because it's definitely something that is interesting, and every day is different. So I wanted to add that don't be afraid of having a fancy car. So this is my 2011 Toyota Tacoma. Could I afford a better truck? Absolutely. But this is a great truck. Still does everything I want it to do. It's what I built this channel with. It's got the kayak racks. It's all good to go. It's never been stuck, and it's running like a champ. So why do I need a fancier car? I did plenty of deals with the old Yoda here, and it never sputtered a bit. So some people made fun of my rusty tailgate, but you know what? It was caused by hauling kayaks to build this channel. Had a great time while I did it, and the tailgate has nothing to do with anything. Am I going to fix the tailgate this year? Probably. I'm just going to buy another tailgate, not another truck. So I know a lot of people that have BMWs and Lexus and, you know, fancy cars as a real estate agent. Does it help them sell any more real estate? I don't know, maybe. But for me, it's not really a big deal. This is who I am. I'm a Toyota person that has a pop-up camper and likes drinking cheap beer. But you know what? I have fun on the beach life, and I'm not embarrassed by it. So just never think that you have to have an amazing vehicle or something to impress people to start off selling real estate. You start right where you are, and then you just upgrade as you go if you want to. But don't let your vehicle, don't be embarrassed by your vehicle and worried about what other people are going to think about you. I know a guy that did 16 million volume this year driving a Prius, and he never once worried about what kind of car he drove. He never once worried about what kind of car he drove. He just went out there, met people, and sold houses. Or maybe you're not one of those that really stand out in like one of those headshot portrait photos real estate agents always try to glamify. That doesn't sell houses. Personality and being a person that connects with people and having a great network and just being able to talk to people makes a great real estate agent. But leveraging social media is key, and it's free, and it's free to upload. It's just your time out there doing it, and it's definitely the best return on investment. I mean, you can pay for Zillow ads, but they're expensive, and you know, some of the margins for real estate agents are like 50%. Putting $2,000-3,000 in Zillow ads to make $6,000 or $7,000. Yeah, that's a return, but when you narrow down taxes and everything you got to pay, brokerage split, you're not making a ton of money. So just think about that. And let's talk about expenses, okay? A lot of times you can look on the MLS or you can look at agents and they're like, oh, I'm $1 million producer, or oh, I closed 10 million in real estate this year. But when you break down their numbers and you notice that most of their stuff is coming from Zillow, or which they're paying heavily for, or ad clicks or whatever on the internet, and like, let's say, you know, of that 10 million, so let's say 5 million of that was actually where they started breaking even. So let's say that, you know, it may look like they made $400,000 or $500,000 that year, but actually they made $100,000 because their expenses were so high. You know, they got to pay ads, office, car payments, fancy clothes, all the travel. It's a lot of expenses involved in it. So when you hear a volume number, you got to realize, what did they actually put in their pocket? For me, at 4 point whatever million I did, I put 90% of that in my pocket because my expenses were so low. So you just got to figure out where you fall in that. Are you going to be high volume, and are you going to put a lot of it in your pocket? Or are you going to be high volume, lots of expenses, not as much in your pocket? Or you want to just do 5 deals a year and just make some extra income? So just understand that when you see the numbers and what their commission actually was. Sometimes they're 1% commissions, 1.5% commissions. Sometimes they're 2%, like with builders and new builds. Sometimes they're 3%. Sometimes they gave some of the commission away because there was a problem. Like, just realize that some of the numbers can have a lot of different variables about it. I know lots of real estate agents that are just average people, and they are just doing great. I am an average looking person with a bald head, and I didn't let that stop me, okay? I drove up there with the same Toyota Tacoma that I've always had on this channel, most of the time with a surfboard on top of it or a kayak. Why? Because the people that are reaching out to me understand that that is my lifestyle, and it really has nothing to do with whether a house sells or not. It's going to sell itself. Your networking is going to sell it. And having a large social media platform is one of the most powerful things for selling a property that you could absolutely ask for. All the realtor.com, just get out and talk to people. I guarantee you there's $2 or $3 million in sales just in your Facebook friends list. And just by going out and being sociable and talk to people, I know you can make a living doing real estate just by doing that. I probably sold my first $1 million. Oh, fun fact, I sold $1 million of real estate on my bicycle. I think I did 5 deals on my green bicycle and that electric bike sitting over there. Just driving around my neighborhood, seeing signs that were posted up, going back to my buyers list, and just contacting them like, hey, there's this house here, would you be interested? It's totally possible. You don't have to have a fancy car. You don't have to have anything fancy clothes. Just be presentable, nice, and with a smile. I do want to add, if you're thinking about quitting your job to jump into as a real estate agent or be a real estate agent, is I wouldn't quit your job immediately. It takes a while to get rolling as a real estate agent. You need to basically, I would definitely keep my job as I grew my client basis. And then once I was doing 2 or 3 deals a month, then I would maybe quit my job and go full-time. I mean, there is an aspect of jumping in and doing it, but there's a steep learning curve to real estate. You got to learn how to market. You've got to learn the contracts. You've got to learn everything to do with the transactions, home inspections, all the different inspections you need to have on a property. You got to have the ability to have a list of people that work with you, like I said, surveyors, home inspectors, mortgage brokers. All those people work with you as a team, and if you don't have a network, it's really hard to get a lot of deals done. Having a transaction coordinator for me was crucial because they handle the paperwork while I'm out there doing another deal. So the $400 or whatever I was paying for a transaction coordinator gave me time to go and chase other deals or make more YouTube videos. So that's definitely something to think about. And I want to let this last thing in here. Real estate agents are what you pay for, right? If you want to be cheap and have a cheap commission rate and but you're wanting great service, those don't go together. You get what you pay for, and some real estate agents are worth every penny. Ones that have a good network and that work hard and will answer your phone call and will do everything they can to protect you will make you money in the end. They're not glorified door openers. I learned that very fast. I saw many agents this year save their clients tens of thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars by understanding the market, knowing how to talk to people and how to keep deals together. You'll never change my mind on this because I know how deals work now on both the retail side and on the investment side. And I used to be one that was out there very harsh and critical about real estate agents until I realized what they do and how hard they work and how good some of them truly are. Because only like 10% of agents sell all the real estate. The rest of them sell like 1 or 2 properties a year and really are a non-factor. So those top 10% ones, the top 1% are worth every penny. But that's the end of the video, guys. I wanted to make this video to maybe help you out there understand being a real estate agent, what it is and what it isn't, and you know, kind of some realistic numbers. I burned the road up. I did like 20-something deals, averaging around $250,000. I did deals from $100,000 all the way up to $500,000, $600,000. I had $1 million in volume in one weekend, and you know, and then I've had, a couple weeks that didn't have anything. And if you're going to be a real estate agent, understand it's going to be ups and downs and a rocky road, and you're just learning and having fun. And if you're starting off, get on a team, and because you got to learn the ropes. You got to learn how everything works, contracts and deal making and negotiation, and hopefully you learned something from this video and it helped. So if it does, pound the like button, subscribe down below. If you're looking to buy or sell on the Gulf Coast, my email's in the description box below. Email me and we will get something going, and I will talk to you guys later. So just get out there, be full of personality and smiles, and just talk to people. Don't have to pay for leads right off the bat. Zillow and Redfin and